Today I will be doing my first back to school series video, which is what's in my school backpack, or like what you should put in your school backpack, or what I put in my school backpack kind of thing. So I use my backpack the majority of the time, first of all because I usually kind of have a lot of things to carry around, and second of all, when I don't usually carry my backpack and carry like a tote bag, if I have a lot of stuff with me for the day, I can really fill it in my back, even with my backpack sometimes, because my backpack gets pretty heavy. I'm saying backpack a lot. So I always use my backpack because I don't want to have like a bad back when I get older, and I can really feel it if I don't use a backpack. So I usually use my backpack. The only time I don't is when I have classes where I don't need to carry around huge textbooks, but I know that this year I will have a bunch of classes where I will have to carry around massive textbooks. So I will go ahead and start and show you what is in my backpack. And just a warning, it's not a cute backpack. I got it because it's a really good backpack and I like it. So this is I think it's called a Recon, the North Face Recon. So on the outside I'll show you, and I'm gonna put it back and then just pull all the things out of it. And keep in mind that I am not going to school yet, so I literally just put all the things that my backpack usually looks like during the school year. I had it empty at first, but then I just filled it up because I do have school soon anyway, so it was a good time to just fill it up. So the first thing that I always carry around is a water bottle with ice, and I actually broke my glass water bottle. This is my sister's. My really good friend Rachel actually gave me this, except the one that I had, which is broken now. But she also gave Callie this because she's a nice person and she's super giving, and she knew that this would be the perfect present to give Callie and I. And I also bring a mug with either tea or coffee, usually tea, to school every single day, and so that'll go in the other compartment, or the other cup holder kind of thing on my backpack throughout the day. And then, oh gosh, this is heavy. For this little mesh compartment, I usually put like clothes that I will take off. I mean, like jackets and sweaters and stuff like that, or scarves. So in the little tiny compartment in the front, I always carry this hand lotion. And this is the best hand lotion I have ever used ever in my life, and I've been using it for like 4 years now. You probably all know that I live in Alaska. It gets really cold outside, and it's not like a wet cold, it's a very dry cold, so it's really dry and cold, and hands do not appreciate that. If I forget it, or if I use it at home and take it out and leave it out on accident, I get really upset, and then like my hands hurt because they're like cracked and dried. So I pretty much always have this in my backpack. I actually just took my ID card picture for my school today, so I don't carry that around with my keys. And I always put this in the front compartment so it's easy access, and I usually it's really easy to just put away, and I don't have to dig through my entire backpack. So that is it for that small compartment. And then in the next compartment, it looks like this. You guys can already kind of see what's in it. It's the smaller compartment. I have my Texas Instrument. It's a TI-84 Plus Silver Edition, and it's pink because I took, what classes did I need this in? I needed this in like Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and then I'm gonna do AP Calculus. So I think it's kind of required to have one of these, even though our school offers them to loan. You can't like take them home at night or anything, so I just bought my own. And then what I carry is hair bands, and I just, kind of tie them together so they're not all loose and all over the place. It's a big pain if you don't have hair bands when you're like running, or just like when you are doing a test and want to get your hair out of your face. I will notice within the first 20 minutes if I don't have a hairband, and I get really annoyed. The next thing that I carry is gum, and I carry this not in my pencil pouch, which I take out in every single class, but I slip it kind of in my backpack because in my school, even if people don't want gum, they'll ask for gum. I know that makes me sound like super selfish, but it's my gum. The next thing that I carry in here are like feminine items, and I'm actually not like super discreet about it. I don't really find it very embarrassing. Like if a boy wants to be really snoopy and go through all my stuff, which has happened like a number of times, like they're like, oh, what's in your backpack? And then they'll go in and be like, oh, like look what I found, and like try to make it really awkward for me. It doesn't really bother me at all. I don't get embarrassed by that because there are a bunch of other girls that attend my school. So I think they, can relate. It's not something that I get really embarrassed by. I think everyone knows that it's a necessity, so, why be embarrassed? I guess I could get those really cool things that, make them really discreet, but I feel like if someone saw that, they would be like, oh, what's in here? Is it money? And then they would just see what it actually was, and you would probably get more embarrassed because you were actually trying to hide it. So I don't really care. It's just in there. The last thing that I have in this little pocket is this cute little change thing. So what I have in here is a lip gloss, and then this Bobbi Brown like tiny little kit that's actually my sister's, and I think the colors are really pretty, and it has a tiny little brush. I'm comfortable enough where I don't have to wear makeup to school. I don't feel the need to put on makeup if I haven't, but some days I feel less confident than other days, so I think it'd be just really nice to have some eyeshadow that I could put on if I wanted to, like during lunch or something, and then some lip gloss because this is my favorite lip gloss. And then I always carry change, but I also always bring my keys regardless of whether I drive there or not. So but you can't go wrong like with just some backups, I guess. So now moving on to the biggest compartment of the backpack. So this is what it looks like on like a bad day of the year. I started bringing my laptop to school because I had an online class, and then I just started bringing it to school like every single day. The only problem with that is that you have to look after it a lot. I didn't feel comfortable leaving to the bathroom unless like my friends are in the classroom, because while I trust a lot of the people in my school, there have been a lot of things that have gotten stolen, and I don't know, it's not something that, like, my laptop is one of my most prized possessions because I bought it myself, and it's like I have a lot of amazing memories on it. I have pictures and videos and stuff like that, so I don't want to lose it. So that's one of the biggest problems, is that, you have the risk of getting it stolen. And then also another problem is I always feel like I'm like hurting it a lot and just breaking it. I'll put it on the ground and then it'll fall over, and I just feel like everything's crushing it. So that's also a bad thing, but I'm sure it's kind of fine. And then also a lot of people always ask to, use your laptop. And that's totally fine if you don't make videos. I could be editing like a video and, people are like, hey, what's this? Except they're always just like, what's this? And they like think it's really amusing. And I think if I saw that, like, I would just like discreetly click out of it. Okay, so every single day I carry my binder. I don't have any schoolwork in it, and I don't have any paper or anything. This is just the exact binder I used last year, and I emptied it all out. So I have one tab for each of my classes, and then a really cool thing that I thought up, since this is kind of like a binder that, I don't know, it's not like a typical 3-ringed binder. I got like a paper cover, what are these called? Paper protector, and I just cut a little slit in it and then put a sticker on so it doesn't like cut some more of the little slit that you made. And I just filled it with paper, and it's super easy to get paper out, and I really like that way. So I really like this binder. Another thing I really like about these type of binders is that it's completely flat. You can write on it, or you can go straight to like the class that you're working on, then write on it. So yeah, I usually do that. The two things that I carry on every single day are that binder and then this pencil case. And this is actually ridiculously old. Like, I think it might be 6 years old. In the little mesh, I keep my chapstick, and then I keep my 2 different leads, or lead sizes, because I will show you that I'm pretty particular about my pencils. And then in this little pocket, this is where I usually hide my phone, because I keep this out on my desk usually. And then this is also where I have my headphones. In this little pocket, I keep all of my pencils and pens and highlighters. And I hope none of you guys think I'm like crazy for doing this or really weird. So I have 3 different types of pencils, because when I write, it's kind of hard for me. Like, it really hurts my fingers after a little while, so I like to switch pencils. So I really like having different lead sizes, because sometimes it's easier to write with one, and then sometimes I just feel like writing with another. I have 2 types of mechanical pencils that I use. I used this one, and I think I just have this one because it was on sale, and then I just decided that I liked these ones. And then I have this one. So I usually always have these 2 mechanical pencils, and this one's 0.9, and it's like, I really like writing with this one, and then this one is 0.7, and I use this one after my hand gets really tired of this one. And then I also have a 3rd pencil, and because I'm so particular about my pencils, like, when someone asks to borrow a pencil, this is the pencil that I give them because like I have to have these 2 pencils, and that sounds super weird when I actually say it. So that's kind of weird to me. I already know, you don't have to tell me that. But yeah, those are the pencils that I use. Unless it's like, all of my friends know that I carry like mechanical pencils. So if they need to borrow a pencil, I will let them borrow it for sure. Next thing that I carry in my pencil holder thing are these type of erasers. This is just from last year. I didn't use this whole one, so I'm gonna go into the year using this one. These are my favorite erasers because I don't know, while the erasers on the ends of those pencils are fine, they always get really little and then they get stuck in there, and that really annoys me. So I always use this, and this covers a lot. Like, I mean, you can erase a lot more with this one, so I like these kinds. And then I always have these 2 pens, and this one is actually almost out because it was from last year, so I'll have to like get another colored pen. I love having this orange pen, but I also like, I don't mind other colored pens. Like, I like pink pens and like blue pens, but I always like having a colored pen. And then I just have this regular Uniball pen because I really like writing with this pen. And then I usually just carry in my backpack whatever else I need to. Like for the last year, I had 2 specific class binders that I had to carry around every time I had that class. So I had to carry around a binder for English every time I had English, and then chemistry, I had a binder that I had to carry to chemistry every time I had chemistry. I'm not sure what classes I will need a separate binder for this year, so I just showed you my last year's ones. And these are pretty heavy, like these are full of stuff. But I only carry those around on those class days because they weigh my backpack down, and I really don't like having my backpack weighed down. And I always start my year off with like a clean, fresh notebook. This is one from last year, and I never end up carrying it around after like the first quarter. Like, I always love carrying these around, and I'm like, oh, I feel so cool like writing in this with like, and then tearing out the paper. I just find that it's a lot easier to just, you know, slide out the paper from my binder, and I have my binder, I carry it around every single day. Sometimes I forget this, so if I leave my homework in it, I have to like, I'm just like kind of, you know, that really sucks for me. So I think it's just a lot easier to just keep my paper in my binder and with my homework and everything that I carry every single day. So after about a quarter or so, I stop using these. Also, after about a quarter, or once I get familiar with the class, I stop taking really great notes. So that's kind of funny, but I'll probably get one of those this year and just stop using it a quarter of the way through. Okay, so this is the last and final thing. It's my planner. I've actually noticed that a lot of YouTube people seem to carry around planners or agendas, which is kind of funny. I don't need to write down my agenda. This is more of a thing, to be honest, where when I'm really bored, I like writing down all the homework and things that I have to do. But sometimes, like, I'll have weeks where I'm really dependent on it. Like, I'll write down everything that I have to do for like the rest of the month, and I'll refer to it every single day of the month and get really excited for whatever activities I have. But then there are some times where I don't even look at it at all, but I still carry it around every single day, because when I'm really bored in a class and you take out your agenda to write your like assignments or anything on it, your teachers like don't really mind. Like, instead of like doodling or something, I just write down everything. Like, this is an example page. Yeah, it's not something that I need to do because I always write down my homework when I get home on a whiteboard, but it's just something that like that I think is like nice and fun to do, and it makes me feel really organized, and I like feeling really organized. So it's just something that I like to have, and I bring it every single day. It's one of my essential things that I bring, and it's pink, it's pretty, so that's cool. Yeah, I actually really like looking through these because it tells me how my year was. Like this is a pretty crazy page. That year was probably stressful. I think I'm gonna try to find the same planner, the same exact planner, maybe like in a different color, I'm not sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know, you know, if you really learn anything because they're not like organization tips or anything, but I just really like watching those videos. They're probably some of my favorites because when, you know, people that are super involved with beauty bring in school, like it's just like interesting to me. So I like learning about what people carry around in their backpack. I don't really have anything super weird or, you know, abnormal about what I carry around in my backpack. Whoa. But I just really like watching them, so I decided to make one myself. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!